Hi guys, so this is video 6 of Duke and Prince, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I get the boys used to some tack. Through this video there'll be a couple of useful tips and tools to help you with some slightly sharper horses, ponies that just need that little bit more time and care. So hope you enjoy. So starting with Duke and a picture of my rope halter. You'll notice it's got a nice little leather piece in the middle of the nose. I do all my work with these rope halters. I'm really passionate about them. I think they're brilliant, but I never ever tie up in them. So you'll notice that he's got the rope halter on with a leather head collar over the top. Now I've just loosened the rope off there, so he thinks he's tied up, but he's not. So this is just a safety precaution. He's having the roller on for the first time. So he's got a numbner, he's got a pro-light pad, and then the roller and girth over the top. Now obviously I've done a lot of work with things over his back building up to this, but first thing I'm going to do is move him. So I want to make sure that he's not going to go 6 foot in the air, so just moving him around, letting him have a little sniff, keeping an eye on his body language and his eye, and just checking that as he moves he doesn't panic. Here's a nice slow-mo to show you the setup I've got. Now the pro-light pads are great because they've got a little gap in the wither area, so there's movement, so nothing pinches. Now you'll notice here I've got a bridle on. I have got a little straight bar naze. I wasn't quite sure what to put on, so I thought I'd try this to start with. Now when I back all my young horses and I get them used to the bits, I normally put a little bit of nice yummy molasses over the bit so that it's nice and tasty. And cobbies they think of their belly, so they're quite keen to lick the bit and take it. So building on this, what I've done is I've bitted him, but I'm working him off the halter. So it's really important for me that he learns to just accept that the bit is in there, but there's no pressure. And I've taken my time to work up to this. And again, just a very gentle pressure and release. And it's literally just one finger, guys, just encouraging him. Any slight movement and I release, and lots of fuss. Now, the next video is just to give you a different angle. And also for Duke to get used to me being on the right side. It's a big deal for this pony. Doing a lot more on both sides, but especially the right really does help. Again, you can see one finger, it's really light. Every time we get a little bit of softness, I then give him a pat and release. And he's getting, he's starting to kind of settle into this, which I'm really pleased about. But the majority of the work is off the halter. So both ponies have grown up, they've come into the yard, and they've now got used to the wash bay. So I've taken my time, guys, in building up both ponies' confidence about going into the wash bay. So it is an enclosed space. They can't see the stables, although it is still on the yard. So what I've done is I've brought both ponies around together, and I've slowly taken the time to walk them in, walk them out, let them walk in and stand without being tied up, so they get used to not feeling that kind of pressure of being contained. Taking them in, holding them, grooming them, and then got to the point where I can now tie them up. So normally I use a leather head collar, it's always in the bay, and they're tied to either side of the ring. And after this video, I've now started tying Duke either side because he was quite happy to play with it and we don't want any accidents. Moving on to the roller, as you can see, he's quite confident with this now. And now the rhythm beads. If you guys haven't seen them, they're worth looking up. They sit around the neck, they jingle, they get used to something touching them, but it's also good to listen to the rhythm when they're working. So here I've moved on to a Hilary Vernon, a different bit. I like these, it really encourages the horse to seek the contact, and it seems to really suit Duke. And we've moved on to not having any more molasses on the bit, so it just takes a little time, but I'm just giving him that time to quietly open his mouth. I want him to stay low. There's nothing worse than them lifting their heads up and being awkward. Again, it's just taking time, not putting any pressure on. Now you'll see that I've still got the rope halter on. So for me, I'm still doing everything off the halter, and I'm slowly encouraging the contact off the bit. That will be videos to come. Back with the head collar on again, I'm just going to slowly do up the girth. Now long lines, I put them on the side of him, so he has to get used to them either side and flapping around. There's a little picture here of the rhythm beads. And then I'm going to move on to, this is a really good tool, guys, tail bandage. So if you've got horses that don't like things touching their sides or behind their bottoms, it can be quite dangerous. And Duke really is quite sharp about this. He's quite concerned about things behind, things touching him. So to keep everything safe, I'm just going to try and take as much time as I can in working out what he can and can't cope with, and introducing him to as many different things as possible. So really simple, tail bandage attached to either side of the roller. One side is loose so that I can untie it quite quickly if I need to. There's just enough pressure that I can slip it over his bottom without it sliding down, but it's not too tight. Allowing him to move, not putting on too much pressure, definitely not tying him up. Playing around from both sides, and you'll see a video in a minute where he's actually kind of quite anxious about this. So I just keep putting it slowly down over his tail, then lifting it back up again, just pulling it so he feels that little bit of pressure, and just taking my time, giving him time in between these videos to really process and allow, accept. I mean, look at this video, guys. What's happened to this pony? He's quite tense. He's really unsure. The muscles in his neck, his eye. But here he starts to relax, which I'm really pleased about. And we've got to the stage now where I'm long lining and I've got ropes over him and he's fine. So it does pay off to just put that time and patience in at the beginning. Here, a little twang. Good pony. So I put this video in because for me it's really important to teach a horse to just lower their head a little bit and relax into taking the bridle off. You'll notice my hand underneath, I'm catching the bit so that it doesn't clonk him on the teeth. You can use the halter to just lower the head a little bit, and then they just release that bit a little bit quieter, and hopefully it's much easier all round. Good pony. So next video is moving on to Prince. And Prince is only just 3, so he really hasn't had many life experiences. And you can see here, bless him, he's quite unsettled. So I think this is like day 2 where we've walked him in, walked him out. And here he's got Del, who helps me very kindly holding him. And you can see he's very unsettled there. I'm videoing and I'm holding Duke literally just outside so he doesn't feel too threatened, but we've built on this. We've spent a few minutes every day, and you can see it's really paid off. We're a few weeks down the line and he's quite happily cross-tied in there on his own. There's me flapping my coat, doing lots of silly things, letting him get used to life. Pup's running in and out, but look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 little tootsies he's picking up. And guys, if you see the first few videos, I used to sweat trying to pick his feet out. He just wasn't confident. He wasn't confident to put weight on one and to release the other. So the fact that he's now feeling more confident with me and he's standing in here nice and happy is just brilliant. So a nice little groom. Then we're going to move on to a roller. He's had a little lightweight saddle on. The only thing I haven't done is much bitting. I haven't found something that's quite small enough that fits to play around enough. I've got a friend coming out who does bit fitting, so we've got that coming up. But to be honest, just playing around with things on his back, I've laid over him, and just letting him take in life really has been more important. And the fact that he's starting to relax. He is still very young and very green. So I hope you enjoyed. It's really nice to share with you all. Any questions, please ask. It would be great if you would like and share. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click on the bell if you want to see more videos and inform you when I've done another one. I've got lots more to come, and you'll get to see more and more of the horses' characters as we go along, which is also really nice. So look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot.